Hello, welcome to Kenzo Code Play. So today we'll be creating a digital clock, and as you can see, I've already created the project, and I've already created the clock component. So to start things off, we'll be importing React, and then we'll also be importing use effect. So we'll not be using any external um, we'll not be using any external libraries, so we'll just be using the common libraries. So also use state, um, and then we'll define our clock. So function clock, missing a comma here, function clock is equal to nothing, and then we'll return, for now let's just return a div, and I'll just give it a class name of clock. So for now let's just display clock, and yeah, so let's export it. Export default clock, and then let's make sure we're importing it or calling it in the app. Yeah, perfect. So it's displaying clock, and then what we want our clock to do is just to display the current time. So it will be a digital clock, just to keep things simple for this video. And we're gonna have to create a variable that keeps time, and then that also sets the time as well. So we'll use state for that. So const time, and then set time, and then is equal to use state, and then we'll just be using a new date. So this will give us the current time, and then date actually, and then what we also want to do now is use the use effect to now set the time every other second. So use time, and then this is just the time ID. This is so we have to constantly update our time every, make sure the UI updates. So we'll use set interval for that, and then that will just constantly give us the new time every other second. So let's do that. Set interval, and then set time. So we'll be now calling the set time that we defined, and then new date, just give it the new date. That's it. Obviously now we have to tell it to constantly update every other second, so that will be 1000 milliseconds, and then just to make sure that we clean up after the interval, we gonna have to clear the interval. So return clear interval. And then we just have to give it the ID, timer ID. Perfect. Now let's display the time. So to do that, we have to first format our time into a string. For that, we'll be using two local time string. So that's a JavaScript library that's local. So let's do that. If I can spell. Time. And then for now, let's just call that in our, let's create an h1 tag, and then let's just call it formatted time. Let's see what it displays. So now we have the time that's constantly updating every other second, and it also displays the PM. So what I don't like is the fact that obviously it's 8 o'clock right now, and for me obviously so now it's displaying just one digit here on the hour. So maybe if yeah, let's handle that to add a 0 if the time is just below 10 o'clock, or maybe if the digit is, has the length of 1 instead of 2. So let's handle that. To do that, I'm first gonna split the formatted time. So formatted time got split by that, and then we just have to select the hour. Yeah, let's use let here because I don't think we'll be yeah, split hour and then split time. We'll just be indexing at 0, and then now we just have to add the 0. So const add 0 is equal to split hour and then length. So now we're just making sure that the length is equal to 1, otherwise we just give it as it is. So that's just the condition. So if it's equal to 1, then 0 plus split time, split hour, otherwise just split hour. And then now we can properly display our time. So to do that, we'll just first by obviously displaying the hour at 0, and then we'll display split hour, just index it, split time, just index it at 1, which should be the minute, and then now we split time again, index at 2, which is the seconds. So the seconds will also display the AM or PM, so since we only split by this, so it's not train smash. Let's see how it displays. So yeah, perfect, it added the 0 there. And then now to the styling. To style this, I'm gonna first start by the body. With the body, so what I want to do is just center it. So to do that, I'm gonna be using display flex, justify, and align. Body, display, flex, justify content, center, align, center. And then we'll just set the height so it fills the entire screen, so 100 view height. So as you can see, now it's centered to the center. Now let's work with the clock itself. So we defined the clock class. Did we? Yes, we defined a clock class here, so let's use that. So for the clock, I'm just gonna put a small background and then give it the font size. Let's do that. Background color, I'll stick to black. Font size, let's go for 2 and then font family will do monospace. Yeah, it looks kind of monospace, and then we'll do some padding there. So we don't want any padding on the top and the bottom, we just want padding at the sides, so 30 pixels. And then we'll do a border radius, since we have a background color of 10 pixels, and then we'll just give it a white border. Yeah, let's just give it a white border for now. 5 pixels, solid white. So now obviously it's not displaying the thing, so we need to choose the color, which we'll just set to the white. Yeah, perfect. It looks fine, it looks perfect actually. And then now I'm happy with this, but I think I'll just add a border here in between the div, so should be somewhere in between. We already have a border, and we already have the class name of app that we are not really using, so I'll just take that in and just let's play around with it. We want a border inside a div that looks like it's inside a div, so let's just give it a background color of black, keep the same logic, and then some padding of 10 pixels, and then perfect. Now this looks perfect. I'm just gonna give it a border radius just to match the clock. Border radius 10 pixels. It looks perfect. So yeah, this is our digital clock. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching the video up until this far. Just like, subscribe, we really need your help right now. This is a small channel and we are trying to grow our reach. Thank you very much.